Hello. Okay. We are here, Jordan, and yes, we are in Washington Square Park right now. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Washington Square Park. We just feed a squirrel, and now he's waiting in a weird position to get another macadamia.
I
Macadamia.
love squirrels.
Look at this. It's so hot. He wants to get some fresh.
Fresh air.
Yeah. The pigeon is like, "Hey, bro, you feed the fucking squirrel, and now you gotta feed me. Fuck you."
Jordan, my friend, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Well, with myself, uh, what should I say? I love to fish. Yeah. This is something I love to do. I go to fish. I go fishing in France, in Normandy and Brittany. It's really good.
Oh, Normandy.
Yeah.
That's where you guys got attacked too, right?
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
you guys, but the Nazis.
Yeah. Where we have been defended as well.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, the thing is, you have to release the fish when you got them because, I think soon there would be no fish anymore. That's almost the end.
That would be so sad.
Yes.
How did you get into acting, man? I think I don't know about this.
I had a friend of mine. She was doing acting in a small company, and one day I saw her and I was like, "Where are you going?" And she said, "I'm going to my acting class." And I said, "Okay." And she was like, "Do you want to come?" No, I said, "Can I try? Do you think I can come just to try?" And she was like, "Sure. Let me ask the teacher and I'll come back to you." I was like, "Okay." And I think then a couple of days after that, she sent me a text and she was like, "If you want to come next week," I was like, "Okay." And I think the week after that I couldn't, but then I went eventually 2 weeks after, and then I started, just to be. I arrived and I said, "Hey, I just want to watch," and then the teacher told me, "Do you want to participate?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then that's how everything started.
And that was
I never left.
15 years ago, more or less?
Yeah, I was 15. And
Never left.
No.
I'm curious now. Well, I'm going through this time where I'm not currently working on a project, and I'm curious how to keep working on my acting when I'm not active in a project. What would you advise me to do, or what do you think? What's your take on that?
It took me so many years to understand what it means to be surrounded by art, and I think it's one of the things we have to do to be in nature and surrounded by art. I mean, just buying some. What I'm doing is because when you don't have as much money, you can buy just some postal card with some art that you like from artists, any artist, Picasso. Can be a painter or photographer. Can Vivian Mayer or Bruce Gilden, whatever. And then you put that around you, and you just surround yourself with that. You go to museum, watch TV, watch TV shows, movies, anything that stretch your mind and that give you an experience. Because then you can use that in your acting, in your acting process. But I also believe that it's not enough. You also have to practice, read some plays, and to be more accurate about being a good detective with the text or any piece of material. And yeah, taking workshop, meeting people, doing stuff with your friends for free because it's free. And one more thing, I lost my point. Oh yeah, you can also practice. There's some exercise you can practice by yourself, like Chekhov. Here's some physical stuff that you can do on your own that open your body, open your imagination. But I believe that if you watch, again, a lot of shows, a lot of art, your imagination will just expand naturally.
Yes.
As well if you go to nature a lot and just disconnect with the building and the bullshit of the city.
Yeah. We're now fortunately in New York, right? What a great way to do that.
Yeah.
What you're saying, it sounds to me like I did the artist's way this one time, and Julia Cameron called about filling your well, like your artist's well,
Yeah.
going out into nature and admiring art or immersing yourself in the great literature of life, things like that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's shooting today. Look at this.
Yes. I think we're in good company then.
Yeah.
Everyone's shooting at. I love that. Look at that big camera. Yes. What do you think they're shooting? So for everyone listening, we're just like seeing a lot of men walking with two professional cameras on their shoulders while I'm dripping sweat on this phone.
Yeah, the phone is soaked with
The
water.
phone is soaked with water. Yes, not anything else. With
No.
water. Yeah. And now that we are creating with our friends, Jordan, or that's what we want to do, I think procrastination can be one thing that I get trapped into. Like, oh, how do I do this or how do I do that? And I think I want to just create something instead of like focusing too much on that. I don't know. What do you think?
Depends what kind of procrastination.
Oh, that's true.
Because procrastination, if procrastination lead to being bored, I think it's great. We need to get bored. We don't get bored easily. When was
Yeah.
the last time you were bored?
Yesterday.
No, but that's great because it's
Yeah.
not everybody.
No, but what you're saying is, I feel more and more this urge to, when I feel bored, I feel the urge to stimulate my brain with something.
Yeah.
And I think that's what many things are conditioning us to do, you know, like not be able to be still for one moment, rather be consuming all the time.
Yeah, and
I don't
being,
think that's good or healthy.
being bored bring you to this question about yourself. What do I want to do? That's why kids, when they get bored, they start to play. And if you don't interrupt them, they just keep playing and playing, but they do stuff they want to do. You know, when they play something when they're 6 years old, and then if you let them play at 10, they would play something different, but they would be playing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So that's great.
Yeah.
Being bored leads you to your true self. Sometimes, not just that, but it can lead you to a true self.
Yeah. I know that you practice meditation, Jordan, as do I. Do you think that when we're bored, meditating fosters that sense of creativity, or do you think it's some way of getting away from like boredom as well?
Getting away from it's a way from getting away from boredom.
Yeah. Let me reformulate that. I think, well, the way I see it is probably when I feel pain or boredom, I think I tend to gravitate towards meditating. And I think that allows me to experience the present more. So it's okay. If I'm bored, I will sit and really give my attention to the boredom. And I think that, I don't know, it's kind of a trick, not a trick, but allowing the moment to be what it is and not trying to change my boredom.
I don't know if we tend to think that boredom is something so bad and so wrong. Well, what is boredom? Because boredom, I don't know, when I'm doing nothing, I'm not bored. I can dream, I can think about philosophy or something that interests me, or a question that I had for a long time and I like to think about it. What is boredom? Why is that so scary?
I don't know. That's a great question, I think. I think we have, why is boredom? It's neither good nor bad, right? It's just like a mode of probably even immersing yourself deeper in life, right? Not being like stimulated, rather allowing ourselves to be present. And perhaps we label just boredom not being stimulated nowadays because we have forgotten about what it's like to just do nothing.
Yeah, I think people are confused. They are like, oh, I'm bored. No, you're not bored. You're doing nothing, and your brain wants to be busy. So then you call it bored because you're not doing anything. But when you're meditating, I mean, sometimes I observe that. Oh, I'm bored, and then I don't reflect on it. I don't dive into it, and then 20 minutes of doing nothing. Is that being bored? I'm not bored when I'm meditating and I'm doing nothing. So I don't know. I think bored is just the way of going back to your silent self, or to child inside of you, and say, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? It's like asking him the question, and during that time of asking the question and during this time when you're not doing anything, you call that boredness. I think it's just I don't know. To me, it's not bad. I love it.
Yeah. To me, it seems kind of, we get used to running a certain program, a pattern of activities, right? And maybe when we step outside that, we may feel uncomfortable. Remember that one time when you told me or asked me why we like to sit in the same place in the classroom all the time? And that made me like feel secure.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like the same thing, you know, when we step outside of what we routinely do, even if it's like a rut, we find comfort or safety in that. And maybe boredom can be as well like a good way of knowing, oh, I'm out of this. I can experience different things now or receive different things now.
Yeah, the act of boredom is really also to open yourself up to anything else that's coming at you. And if you're afraid of not controlling, which is also bored. When you're bored, you're not controlling. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why you feel you're bored. So yeah, that's why it's scary. And some people also experience the I don't know, the bad experience coming back at them because they don't take the time or they don't have the courage to look at it or look at them. So yeah, I understand it can be scary, but I like it.
I like it too.
I was thinking about that recently. I was thinking I should really give myself a window during the day of like a few minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, where I really take the time to do nothing and not meditating. Like, okay, today for an hour, I'm not available if someone is calling me and I'm not doing anything. I'm just in my room, sitting down, lying down, not falling asleep, and just appreciating the moment, or walking in a park. But this is easier because you're outside and stuff, but don't check your phone, don't do anything, don't read. You can think, of course you can't stop thinking, but don't do anything for an hour.
Would you call this a meditation?
Yes and yes and no. Yeah. Sort of. It's like you are in the moment. Everything's coming at you, you can't do it. And you force yourself not to. It's like a meditation.
Yeah.
You think about it, you let yourself think about it, observe, but maybe not completely a complete meditation because you can jump into stuff. See, if at some point you get angry about something, okay, be angry. But again, it's meditation, you can be angry sometimes as well.
Yeah, and you just observe it, right?
Yeah.
Observe. I've been listening to this guy, Rupert Spira, the guy I told you about, and he talks about two approaches to a meditation in a way, you know, exploring emotion or exploring what experiences that emotion. You know, so like, what am I in reality and what is experiencing that? So I thought it's interesting to observe when certain stimuli or feelings arise in us, especially during those meditations or when I'm bored. I think it's useful to sit down and see that nothing will happen to me if I allow myself to be bored. I don't have to go out and try to cure the boredom or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of this podcast I heard about desire. And he said most of people think that to let go of desire is to feel the desire. If you want sugar, if you want to do something, the best way to avoid the desire is to go into it, to do the thing that your desire asks you to do. When actually the cure, quote unquote, the cure is to not react into it.
Yes.
Just be in the moment, stay there. It's true, sometimes in meditation, you meditate as well, and there's sometimes when you reach that moment when you're so present that it's so good, so peaceful, you don't want anything.
Yes.
No desire, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love
and
it.
I think identifying, for some reason I think that peace is just intrinsic to us, but we get so much lost trying to go to the past or go to the future that we lose this tranquility, which is basically that space, and we can come back to it like our true nature.
Yeah, but it's not only that. That's why it's hard, and that's why sometimes we don't want to meditate. It's because meditation brings you some good stuff like being peaceful and being, having no desire sometimes, and sometimes not even a thought passing by. But also sometimes I had times when I was meditating for 20 minutes and it was horrible. I wanted to stop because I had this feeling that I wanted to get rid of, and I was like, no, stay there. It's okay. It's a feeling. Accept it. And then when meditation is over, it feels good.
Yeah.
So it's not only good thing. That's why I stopped advocating for people who are not meditating. Oh, you should meditate. Do you know meditation? Because sometimes it's not as good. You can have a bad experience by meditating.
And you think that bad experience is just probably like something that would have happened regardless of meditation, and it just appeared because people gave themselves the time to experience the thing,
Yeah.
so that it wasn't caused by meditation. Rather, in spite of meditation, it happened.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, meditation, you can't avoid anything. You except if you stop meditating. But if you close your eyes and you decide to observe, you don't go away from the thing. When in life, when something unpleasant is coming up, you can decide to watch a movie, to call someone, to be on your phone, to do something to avoid the emotion. When
Yeah.
you can't really do that with meditation. You can't look into it and let it, dissipate.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, that was just a moment. Where in life it's like, oh no, I don't want that.
Get it away from me.
Yeah.
That's so true.
What was the longest time you've been meditating for?
I think it's 1 hour. That's the longest that I've done. Yeah.
Did you have any pain in your body?
Yes, I think I was meditating without a support for my back, and I wasn't really used to that. So my lower back started to get numb, and my legs as well, because I was cross-legged. And I think a part of it was like just allowing myself to feel that pain too, because it felt uncomfortable and I wanted to move, but I didn't. That was interesting. What about you?
Same, about an hour and 20. And same, my back it's not the low back, it's my legs, same, killing me. And the upper back and middle back, I feel this something is pinching me hard.
Yeah, I felt that.
And I was asking a friend of mine, and he was like, yeah, it's part of the experience, you have to go with the pain. And then when I understood that, and I was like, yeah, just when the pain arrives, I don't know if you experienced that, but you just think about that. You can't focus on anything else. And then eventually, after a few minutes, it goes away. And then I don't even think about it, and it's not painful anymore. It's so weird.
Yes. It feels to me that the mind screams more than it is, than it actually. It kind of sets off an alarm. And it's like, hey, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. But if you stay still, that alarm lessens, and then you notice that it wasn't as bad as like this thing made it look like.
Yeah. But it's good to notice it.
Yeah.
Because if one day something is happening in your body and maybe you need to do something.
To go to the hospital.
Yeah.
To call the funeral services.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You're dying, man. You should stop. Okay?
No, you have to push through.
You have to push through.
But man, I got a knife in my heart. No, meditate.
No, meditate. You're gonna be okay. I lost all my blood already. No, it's in your brain, okay?
All right, bro. We're almost at 20 minutes.
No.
Is there something else you want to talk about?
Okay.
So remind that
okay, we're gonna edit that.
when you're famous, this will come out. AI will use it to blackmail you.
Look.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate this. I appreciate you for helping me as well in my artistic life.
Of course. Anytime. If I'm free, I'm gonna help.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.